Maggie Smith is one of those actresses who hit their stride later in life. She was a hit on British and American stages from a young age, but lacked a large international audience. That is, until she earned the role of Minerva McGonagall in the phenomenon that was Harry Potter. Keep watching to learn more about her now that she's 88 years old. Her life and career. Margaret Natalie Smith was born in Essex, England, December 28, 1934. She became interested in acting from an early age. Her family was against the theater and cinema, and they never thought she'd be a success with, quote, a face like that. That didn't stop little Maggie. She studied at the Oxford Playhouse School and debuted at 17 in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. She then began appearing in revues in Oxford and London. Her first popular appearance came in a 1956 production of the Broadway play New Faces. She followed that up in 1957 as the lead in Share My Lettuce the following year. That led to a prolific stage career in both America and England. Her Broadway works included The Rehearsal, The Private Ear and the Public Eye, and Mary Mary. Her National Theatre Company hits in England included Othello and The Recruiting Officer. Directors wanted her for their films. One of her first was 1969's The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. It won an Oscar, and so did California Suite in 1978. Family and love life. Maggie met playwright Beverly Cross in 1952 at an Oxford student review. She later performed in the 1960 production of his play Strip the Willow. They wanted to be together, but she had to wait for him to finalize his divorce. They had 2 children, Toby Stevens and Chris Larkin. That lasted until she joined Laurence Olivier's National Theatre and married company member Robert Stevens instead. Maggie couldn't handle his drinking and split from him in 1975. She considers herself remarkably fortunate to be able to go back to her first love, Beverly. She stayed with him for 22 years until his death on March 20th, 1998. Maggie never encouraged her sons to follow in her footsteps, but they chose to do so anyway. Toby appeared in the 2006 miniseries Jane Eyre and the series Black Sails from 2014 to 2017. Chris also appeared in Black Sails and the 5th season of Outlanders. Health scares. Maggie Smith is an actress who doesn't let things stop her. This includes a range of health scares throughout the years. She's dealt with them so gracefully that many fans may not have even realized she was suffering. She was diagnosed with a thyroid condition known as Graves' disease at age 33. It made her eyes bulge out. She required 12 months of isolation, radiotherapy, and eye surgery to fix it. In 2008, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. The chemotherapy caused her to lose her hair, but she vowed to her fans that she'd finish the Harry Potter series if possible. She had no problem getting a wig on or leaning on railings for support when she became weak. She didn't want to attract sympathy, but felt for children who underwent similar struggles. Maggie never stopped working as she underwent chemotherapy. She appeared in From Time to Time in 2009, Nanny McPhee Returns in 2010, and finished the Harry Potter franchise with Deathly Hallows Part 2 in 2011. She did have to leave the stage for 12 years. She returned in 2019 in the monoplay A German Life. Favorite roles. An actor's projects are like their children. Like any mother, Maggie plays favorites. The surprising part is they're not the ones you'd think. She's grateful for the part of Minerva and jokes that she, quote, had not existed before it. At the same time, she found her work in Harry Potter unsatisfying. She says the late Alan Rickman, who played Severus Snape, agreed. They called them a series of reaction shots. The best thing that came out of it for her is how her 5 grandchildren felt about it. Downton Abbey wasn't her favorite show either. She called it fragmented and said her character rarely did more than order tea. She never even watched it, and 60 Minutes host Steve Croft once said she was the only person in England who hasn't. The problem was partially in the medium. Maggie began as a stage actress and always preferred to be behind the curtain. She appeared in several Shakespeare plays like Othello and won awards for them, but he was never her favorite playwright. A secret talent. A Grammy is the only award Maggie needs to add to her shelf to become an EGOT. Perhaps one day she'll release an album because she does have a secret talent for singing. She's as humble and self-deprecating about it as most of her abilities. Leonard Sillman saw her in a West End revue and cast her in his New Faces of 1956. She once claimed he was under the mad illusion that she could sing, but fans have seen the proof. She sang the World War I recruiting anthem, I'll Make a Man Out of You, in the 1969 production of Oh, What a Lovely War, and several musical skits on The Carol Burnett Show. Friends and rivals. Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe met Maggie Smith before the series even began. They worked together on a 2-part BBC adaptation of Charles Dickens's David Copperfield in 1999, when he was only 9. He played the younger version of the character, and she was Betsy Trotwood. He even says she recommended him for his most famous role. Dame Maggie Smith and Sir Ian McKellen are also friends who aren't above teasing each other. He did an impression of her on The Graham Norton Show, and she later told the Evening Standard that he did it all the time, even on an episode of SNL. She used her trademark wit and responded that she would do one of him, but he wasn't well known enough to be recognized. Dame Judy Dench is another of Maggie's closest friends. They met as young members of London's Old Vic Theatre and made each other laugh so much they had difficulty controlling themselves while working together. A documentary about their bond called Tea with the Dames was released in 2018. Her partnership with Laurence Olivier didn't last. Her performance in the play The Double Dealer led him to invite her to his own theater company, but their strong personalities clashed. She even confirmed that once, during a performance of Othello, he slapped her so hard during the scene that called for a light hit that she passed out and had to be carried away. Her love for cats. Minerva McGonagall is an animus, a talented witch who can turn into a cat. That's fitting when the woman who plays her has a fondness for felines. The scene where she turns into a cat is her favorite part of the franchise. The role wasn't her first time playing one. She got to act as Rosalind in a feline version of Romeo and Juliet in a 1990 film. Maggie has also helped raise money for cats. She took part in a fundraising campaign for strays in the UK. Celebrities created and sold artwork at auctions with all the money donated to protect them. Leave the dame alone. Maggie gets recognized everywhere she goes. She once went into a taxi cab only to have the driver ask her when the next season of Downton Abbey would come on. Fans swarmed her on a trip to Paris. That's not quite the life she always dreamed of. She's passionate about acting, but not about being famous. She rarely gives interviews, but once told The Telegraph that it's difficult to have no escape. She never ventures out alone in public so that there's always a buffer between her and eager fans. No plans to retire. Health struggles, age, and a lack of privacy are all enough of a reason to retire from acting. Maggie Smith deals with all of them but doesn't plan to leave the job she loves. Being apart from it is like darkness to her. She'd also miss the friendships it helps her create. There was a time in 2013 when she thought her days on stage might be behind her. She didn't think she could keep up enough energy for production while fighting cancer. But that proved to be untrue in 2019. Now it's time to hear from you. Which one of Dame Maggie Smith's roles is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below.